lovelies, here's Elizaveta. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you how my weekends went. A few days ago, I visited the Alex Aster events with her new release, Oro vs. Green book. And for your awareness, Alex Aster wrote a series of the Romantasy, which is called Lightlark. She released 3 books. This one in my native language, and 2 of them which I literally read in 2 days, which was so gripping and good. Almost a month ago, she released a new edition from the POVs of the 2 male interests. And this summer, she released a new book, Summer in the City, which is just a really sweet rom-com. On the 2nd December, she'll have a new book release, which will be the end of the Lightlark series. And then she wrote In the Same World, How I Understood, which is called The Star Side, and it will be released later. It will be her new adult fantasy series. Here wrote a few notes how this event went, and I'm going to discuss it from the writing's perspective and reading. So let's begin. I turned the wrong side, and they said nope, it's not right. Okay. It's take a photo here as well. That was so good and so inspiring, and we had signing, so I'll definitely get my book signed. And this is the Russian version of the Lightlark, a different cover. She just said she never signed this edition of the book, which is a Russian edition of the Lightlark. So I have the one and the only copy with her signature. It's 10 p.m. I just arrived home and everything is such a mess because I was making some videos and trying to find the right outfit, and I was so late. Let me tell you, the event was so beautiful. It was right in the central, in the Piccadilly, this amazing church. On all the seats you would get the tote bag, and there was some merch inside there, which I honestly was so surprised by. That's how it looks like, and let's see what's inside. There is a card with the famous quote, which says, "I love you until my final breath, even if you're the reason I'm taking it." I will not spoil who said that, but that's breaking my heart. There is a bookmark with Team Oro or Team Green, and let's see the quote from him. "If loving you this much is my downfall, then consider me already on my knees." He's good, let's say that. I was very surprised to see this cookie, but I think it's honestly so sweet that they did this for all of the readers. There are a few little things which you can get on your backpack. Let's look at this beautiful and fantastic edition. Alex Aster said that when she proposed this idea of the flip book, publishers were not happy about it and were a little bit confused, but she managed to sort it out. When to read the Aura side, you start from this, but in order to get the Grimm side, you flip the book. So that's how you can get this, and it's all illustrated, literally. You see? That is so stunning. I think my favorite part are illustrations inside, because that's how it looks like. That's how it looks like. The same goes with the text, by the way. If you read in the Aura side, it's like this, but if you read in the Grimm side, all of the text is flipped. And the illustrations with the Grimm. Look at this. Look at this. That is absolutely stunning. I would say if you're a fan of the Lightlark series, I think this is absolutely worth all the money, because I don't remember the last time I've seen such a beautiful edition. So when I checked everything, the event has begun and it lasted over 40 or 50 minutes. Then there was a signing session, was signing the limit of like 3 books, and I got all of these babies signed, which I'm very happy about because it's actually in another city, not in London at that moment, and it was so heavy, so I'm glad that I didn't bring them just for nothing. I think Alex Aster will be my new inspiration, not only because I liked her series, but because of how hard her journey was for the writer. She said that she wrote around 7 books and they all weren't approved by any publishers. She was into writing from a very young age, and only around her 20s she had this idea about the light lark. She started writing this around 23, so her book was accepted, and she's 30 right now. And she said that only maybe 3 or 4 years ago her career as a writer has begun. So for me this is very inspiring because I would like to become a writer, and I'm in my 20s and I know how difficult it is. She developed this routine of writing every day consistently for about 2 years. She's doing this. She wakes up at 6 a.m. and she starts writing at 6:30 every single day. She said that if it's difficult for you to do this, then you need to find something pleasurable you can find in the morning that will make you happy in order so you can wake up earlier. For her, coffee, honestly, for me is the same. Also later I was talking with her about it. She recommended me the book, which is called Save the Cat. She said that she was using the same technique from this book and it was very helpful for her, so I'm definitely gonna get that. She also said how important it is to make the summary of the book you're writing, so you can always keep in check with that and keep the track of everything you're writing so you're on the right path. Honestly, she was so genuine, lovely, and passionate about writing. It was so good. There were a lot of jokes about the Grimm being, in prison, if he would be actually life and a real person, not a fictional character. I checked what the Lightlark series are about. This is about the island that appears every 100 years, and there are some rulers of the different worlds come together and they try to find a solution. There are different competitions, different deadly games that appear to be there. So our main character, Isla, is there. She has no powers yet, and she meets this 2 male interests, Oro and Grimm, but they're very different circumstances, they're very different stories, and these are 2 male characters that are so different from each other. So that's how this idea of the flip book came to her. Said that it needs to be started with Oro's side and then Grimm's side. She wanted to kind of get the readers the idea of what they thought about Isla, how their life went, and how much different they are, because Grimm had no friends, no family, no one. Oro, however, had friends, he had family, he had powers, he had everything. The way they treat Isla is so different, but they still love her. Grimm is the one who would do anything for Isla. I would honestly say that Oro is my favorite character. Everyone loves Grimm because he's so moody and dark and tall. But Oro, I fell in love with him with the first book, Lightlark. I know that people have been going around on and off. I know that the Nightbane honestly introduced me to the Grimm so much. I try not to spoil you so much, but if you read this book, you know what I'm talking about. And it just happened to be that I was sitting next to a publisher of Alex Aster. It's a very special moment for me because, again, I would like to become a writer. So it was very interesting that she was talking about how she went on the Frankfurt Book Festival, which is a dream of mine. Have you seen how big this festival is? We just chatted for a bit before the signing session started. My advice for anyone who would like to be on this kind of events and meet with the author and listen to them talking about their book and their journey is that you actually read their books and you will like this. Maybe see Anna Huang or Holly Black or James Muss, but if you haven't read any of their books, you will not really understand what they're talking about. Sometimes you'll get some spoilers. You really would love to have this feeling that you're united with those people because you've read this series and because you share the same passion for this. So my advice for you would be, if you haven't read any of these books, it is not really worth of pain and going there. Because for me, Alex Aster was the author that I was waiting to see, that I was really, really into, that I was waiting for this book. I started it on the same day I got this, so it was worth it. When I had the idea of this video, I thought that that would be the end. However, on TikTok, I was scrolling, seeing that there's a Romantasy pop-up in London, which I can visit and which will be open for another 2 days. So on the next day, I got my tickets and I went there. So excited. Lived here for a few years, I know that this is very difficult to find a good merch. So before I went there, I was like, I'm just gonna check this a little bit. I doubt I will get anything. This is a doubting question. Fell in love, guys. I was screaming internally about this place. I was ready to shoot everything. I was talking with everyone about it. Before I show you what I got, let me tell you the story of how this Romantasy pop-up occurred in London.
My name's Starlin. I run the Bad Girl Books pop-up. I'm trying to open a permanent Romantasy-only bookshop in Oxford, which is where I live. And at the moment, I'm running pop-ups in London to sort of raise money for that. My favorite book is Thrown in the So funny. It's like one of those books that you don't realize has everything that you could possibly want in a Romantasy book. It's got quests. It's Grumpy Sunshine. He's obsessed with her, but she doesn't know.
The best trope ever.
Enemies to lovers, but then they turn into like allies to lovers, and it is honestly hilarious. My next pop-up at Christmas, so it's going to be from the 12th until the 21st, and it'll be in the same location in Hackney, and I'll have lots of Christmas bookish stuff, stocking stuffers, bookish stockings, and it'll be very cute.
So as you're aware, this pop-up will be open in the winter too, and I think it will be so aesthetic. So if you sad that you missed this, it will be open again. So I'm showing you what I got. I think this is a very adult purchase. Don't question this. That is everything for me. So this is a suite which says Xaden on it, which is the main character of the book Fourth Wing. If you haven't read that, read that right now. And I got this candle, and the lady that sold me this, she said that it was a favorite smell, and honestly, yes, it is very good. It is like a sugar plum. So I decided to go with the same theme, and I got this bookmark. We're not reading Smart, right, Carols? Right? And the brilliance of this collection. How could I say no? How could I say no to that? This is so beautiful. I'm gonna sleep in that, I'm gonna eat in that, I'm gonna wear that all day, so I'll forget about the style. That is everything. And I know that this is kind of unrelated to books topics, but I wanted to quickly show you this. So a few weeks ago, I went on the pottery class, and it's the first time that I actually enjoyed this. So I wanted to get a few pieces that I made, and it was in the same area. Like, I was waiting for a few weeks, and the Romantasy pop-up and the pottery class were in the same area, which is very far away from me. Evening, they said that it was ready, so I decided to get this. And that's how it looks like. That is definitely so far from perfect, but I was really inspired to get something breakfast mix where I can get this for my yogurt bowls, and this is for my tea or coffee. As you see again, on this side it looks like this, so it's not very aesthetic, but I'm not going to show it to anyone. for than you guys. I can call this a successful weekend spent. If you finish watching this video, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. This is my first professional YouTube video on the bookish theme, and I want to make more of them. I also have a TikTok and Instagram, which you can follow me there. This is only the beginning of my journey. If you want to say something like what could be different, what you would like me to talk about, just feel free to DM me or write this in the comments. And thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it.